You are listening to Tech Chat with Samantha, the podcast for service business owners who are done running their business from memory and ready to build something that actually runs without them. Each week, Samantha Pointer, business systems and AI automation architect, brings you practical systems thinking, real talk about automation, and the kind of clarity that turns operational chaos into a business that works. If you are ready to stop being the bottleneck, you are in the right place. Here is your host, Samantha Pointer.
Welcome back to Tech Chat with Samantha. If you are new here, I am Samantha Pointer, business systems and AI automation architect and founder of Samantha Pointer Enterprises. This podcast is your 15-minute systems clinic. Each week, I share practical strategies and real talk to help you stop being the bottleneck and finally build a business that runs without you. And if you've been here before, welcome to season 2. This season is called Build the Business Behind the Business. And over the next several weeks, we are going to go deeper than we have ever gone on what it actually takes to build a business that runs on systems, not stress. Before we get into it, I want to take a few minutes to share something about why I do this work, because I think it matters for what we are about to build together this season. I have been in the organizing world for well over 20 years. And what most people do not know is that long before I was helping businesses automate anything, I was helping people organize everything. The shift happened about 15 years ago. I was working with clients who ran businesses from home, and I started helping them organize their desktop computers. So I would organize their tech clutter, basically, on their computers. And something clicked for me in that moment. Everyone understood the concept of organizing physical items, physical files, physical spaces, and physical systems. Nobody argued with that, but I realized that the exact same concepts apply to how a business operates. The same logic that makes a filing cabinet useful is the same logic that makes a business process work. Things need to have a place. They need to be easy to find, and more importantly, they need to be easy for someone else to execute. That last part is the one most business owners miss. It is not just about knowing where things are, it is about building something that works even when you are not the one running it. I learned that early on working as an admin where I helped organize an entire company's inventory system. I saw firsthand what happens when processes are documented and clear versus when everything lives in one person's head. The difference is not just efficiency, it is stability. And it is the ability to bring someone new in and have them get up to speed without the whole thing falling apart. That thinking is what eventually led me here to business systems, to automation, and now to AI, and to the framework I'm going to introduce you to today. But first, I want to tell you something a little more personal. There was a season in my life where everything outside of my business was in crisis. I had lost my home, and I'm not going to go into the details because honestly, that is still something I hold close and still a little raw. But what I will tell you is that for about 6 months, I did not have a stable place to work from. I was making sure my kids stayed in school, stayed in their activities, and felt as normal as possible while I was quietly holding everything together behind the scenes. And my business kept running, not because I was superhuman, not because I grinded through it, but because my systems held. The follow up still went out, the clients were still served, the work still got done, and nobody on the outside knew anything was different. That is what a real system does. It runs when you can't. And that is exactly what I want for your business. Most service businesses do not have an operating system. They have tools, they have good intentions, they have a founder who works incredibly hard, but they do not have a system that runs the business independent of the founder's energy, memory, and availability. And so everything defaults back to the owner. Every decision, every follow up, every client question, every approval, it all comes back to one person. And that person gets tired, they get overwhelmed, they drop things. not because they are bad at business, but because no human being can be the operating system for an entire company indefinitely. The problem is almost never effort. The people I work with are some of the hardest working business owners I have ever met. The problem is structure. When structure is missing, effort fills the gap, and effort is not scalable. Systems are. So, I want to introduce you to the SPE Systems Framework. Everything I do, every client I work with, every piece of content I create runs through one methodology, the SPE Systems Framework. It is built on a simple but non negotiable philosophy: three steps in order every time. Step one is organize. Before you build anything, before you buy any tool, before you talk about automation or AI, you organize. You clarify your processes. You simplify your tech stack. You define who is responsible for what. You map the customer journey. Most businesses skip this step entirely. I do not. Step two is automate. Once the system is organized, you implement automation that supports it: CRM workflows, onboarding sequences, follow up campaigns, task automation. The key word is supports. Automation should support a system that already makes sense. If the system is unclear, automation will just make the chaos move faster. And step three is enhance with AI. Once the system is organized and automated, you introduce AI where it genuinely improves efficiency, insight, and decision making. AI is the amplifier, it is not the starting point. The order matters. You cannot skip steps. You cannot bolt AI onto a broken process and expect a better result. Organization first, automation second, AI third, every time. And that philosophy applies to every single system in your business. So let's talk about these six systems. Every service business runs on six systems. When all six are working, the business feels manageable. When even one is broken or missing, the whole thing feels harder than it should be. Here they are: traffic, how your ideal clients find you. Not just that they find you, but that the right people find you consistently and you know exactly how they got there. Capture, how leads enter your pipeline. What happens the moment someone raises their hand and says, I'm interested? Is there a system that catches them, tags them, and starts moving them forward? Or does it depend on you noticing and remembering? Offer, how you present your solution. This is everything that happens between a lead entering your world and the moment they are ready to buy. The education, the trust building, the sequencing. Most businesses present their offer too early or too late. A well built offer system takes care of that. Close, how you convert leads into paying clients. Your sales process from first conversation to signed agreement. Is it consistent and documented, or does it depend on how you feel that day? Deliver, how you fulfill your promise. What happens after someone becomes a client? Is the experience consistent regardless of who is doing the work or how busy you are? Or does delivery quality vary? And then follow up, how you retain clients and grow relationships. What happens after a project closes? Referrals, repeat business, re engagement. These do not happen by accident, they happen by design. And truthfully, follow up should happen after each and every one of the other systems. But we'll talk about that as we dive deeper. Six systems. Every service business needs all six, and each one goes through the same three steps: organize first, automate second, enhance with AI third. That is the SPE Systems Framework. This season, we are going to go deep. We are going deep on each of these systems one at a time. Not just what they are, you can find that anywhere. We're going to talk about what breaks them, what it costs you when they are broken, and what it actually looks like to fix them in a real service business. We're also going to talk about where AI fits inside each system, because AI is changing how businesses operate, and I want to make sure you are using it in the right order, on the right things, at the right time. By the end of this season, you're going to have a completely different lens for looking at your business. You will stop seeing problems as effort problems and start seeing them as structure problems. and that shift changes everything. If today's episode resonated, the best first step is a systems clarity call. It is a complimentary 30-minute call where I take a real time look at your online presence and your business systems. By the end, you will know exactly where your biggest gap is, what it is costing you, and what to fix first. No pressure, no obligation, just clarity. This call is for you if you are a service business owner who is actively investing in your growth and ready for real systems work. If that is you, the link to apply is in the show notes, or you can go to organizingguru.com/15. Build the business behind the business. That is what season 2 is about, and I am so glad you are here for it. Thanks for listening to Tech Chat with Samantha. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Tech Chat with Samantha. If today's episode resonated and you are ready to get clarity on what is actually holding your business back, book a systems clarity call at organizingguru.com/15. It is a complimentary 30-minute call where Samantha takes a real-time look at your online presence and your business systems. You will leave knowing exactly what to fix first. New episodes drop every Tuesday. See you next week.